In this video, we will see the solution to the practice exercise, Embed Walls. In this exercise, we need to create some vertical cladding panels to surround some windows by placing new walls and embedding those walls in the existing wall. We need to create a new wall type for the cladding panels, and we also need to place some reveals in the existing wall to frame the panels top and bottom. Let's start by opening the file Embed Walls. And zooming in here, we can see the end wall that we need to place the panels in. And it's going to be positioned around the windows in this elevation. Before we place the panels, we'll create the reveals. And to do this, we'll go to the Architecture ribbon tab, and from the Build panel, under the Wall Tools, we'll choose Wall Reveal. We'll choose Edit Type to edit the properties of the reveal, and we'll change the profile from the default profile to be the Reveal Brick Course 3 bricks type. We'll choose OK, and now we can come and place our first reveal in this end elevation wall. So I'll select the top one first, and then I'll choose Restart Reveal and place the middle one. And then we'll restart Reveal once more and place the bottom one. We choose Modify to finish placing those reveals. And now we can come and edit the position of them according to the details in the exercise instructions. So I'll select the top one first. And to place this in the correct location, we'll change the level from site to roof. And then we'll set the offset to be -6 feet. We also need to change the offset from wall to be 1 inch. Now we'll choose the second one, the middle one here, and this one needs to align with floor 3 level. So we'll come and change it from site to floor 3. And we'll set the offset to 0. And again the offset from wall to 1 inch. And finally the bottom one, we need to align this to floor 2, but with an offset of -1 foot, and once again an offset of 1 inch. So that's now positioned the reveals correctly, and we're ready to start creating the panels. So to do this, we'll go to the floor 2 floor plan. We can zoom into the end wall here, as this is where the panels need to be placed. So to create the wall type, we'll first choose the Wall tool. So from the Architecture ribbon tab on the Build panel, we'll choose Wall. And we'll come and select the stone on CMU wall type. And then we'll choose Edit Type to change the type properties. First, before we make any changes, we'll come and duplicate this, and we'll call this Vertical Panels. We'll select OK to create that new wall type. And now from the Construction panel, we'll choose to edit the structure. We need to change the material of the Layer 1 component, so we'll choose the existing material here, and then launch the material browser from the resulting ellipses. We'll come and search for the cladding material. And we'll select the cladding vertical rib material. We'll choose OK to assign that onto Layer 1. And now we can choose OK and OK once more to create that vertical panel wall type. We need to place this in line with the existing wall and surrounding the windows. And it's going to be a little bit difficult to do that straight away. So I'll draw it to one side of the building and then we'll move it into the correct location. So we'll create the first wall, and this needs to be 17'6" long. And then the next one needs to be 8 feet long. So to locate the lower wall here, we need to align the midpoint of the wall with the midpoint of the existing wall between the windows here. So to do that, we'll use some detail lines to determine the midpoint between the two windows. So from the Annotate ribbon tab, we'll come and choose Detail Line, and we'll draw a horizontal line that intersects with the existing wall. And now to position this in the correct location, we'll use the Align Dimension tool, and we'll dimension from the middle of the window to the line and to the middle of the next window, and then we'll set this to be equal. We can see that that's moved the line into the middle of the windows, and that's given us an intersection of where we need to place our wall. So we'll choose this wall now, and we'll choose the Move tool, and then snap into the midpoint on the outside face. We can snap to the intersection of our detail line and the external wall here. We get the warning telling us our walls overlap, but we'll deal with that later. And now we can delete our detail line out, as we now have our wall in the correct location. For this wall here, we can simply move it to align with the middle of the window. So we'll now come and choose move and snap to the midpoint of the wall. And again, we'll come and snap to the midpoint of the window and the wall here. Having created that in the right location, we'll just use the copy tool to copy it from the midpoint of the window to the midpoint of the next window. So now we have our 3 walls positioned in plan. We'll go back to the 3D view and we can see the walls here in the correct location, but we now need to set the height so that they meet the reveals top and bottom. So we'll select all 3 walls. And looking at their properties, we'll change the top constraint from unconnected up to the roof level. And then we can see those walls go up to the roof level. They currently have a top offset of -5'6", but that's not quite correct for the location of our reveal. So we'll use the align tool on both the top and the bottom of the walls so that they align with the reveals. So we'll go to the modify ribbon tab and we'll choose the align tool. And as we have multiple walls that we need to align, we'll come and check the multiple alignment option so that we don't have to keep resetting each time. So we'll come and choose the bottom face of the reveal to align to, and then we can choose the top face of each of our walls. And then moving to the bottom of the walls now, we'll reselect the align tool to restart it. And now we can choose the top of the reveal, and then the bottom faces of the walls that we need to align. Choose modify to finish that, and we now have our walls in the correct location and aligned to the reveals as we need them to be. So now we'll deal with the embedding, and to do this, from the modify ribbon tab, we'll come and use the cut geometry tool. Again, as we have multiple objects to embed, we can come and check the multiple cut option. And now we can choose the existing wall and then choose each of the walls to embed, so that all 3 walls are now embedded into the existing wall. We can see that the middle reveal is not cutting through the embedded walls. So to fix this, we'll come and choose the reveal. And then from the modify ribbon tab, we'll use the add remove walls tool to add in the embedded walls so that the reveal cuts through those as well as the existing wall. Finally, we'll go to the floor 2 floor plan. We can see that we have the junction, the join between the existing and the embedded walls is shown here with this line. But really we have the same materials, we have the same CMU material and insulation. It's only really the cladding at the front here that's different. So this line isn't desirable within our plan. So to fix this, we'll come and use the join geometry tool. So from the modify ribbon tab, we'll choose join geometry. And again we can check the multiple join option. And now we can choose the existing wall and then come and choose each of the embedded walls to join in. Once we've done this, we'll see that that line that separates the 2 walls here is now gone, although we can still distinguish between the cladding material and the existing stone material. So let's go back to the 3D view. We can see that we've now finished the exercise.